right, fight fans. Welcome to Buffalo, New York in the Fan Juicy Studios. Welcome to Caveman Corner with your host, Jeff.
Captain Caveman!
It's good to see you're back in post-vacation form, messing up the open. And, well, we're back. Caveman's Corner's back.
Yeah, I get used to it again, Caveman.
Yeah, we're messed up. Well, I got Ray here.
What's up? What's up?
And I got my wife, Karis, here.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, no. My wife is drinking some stiff iced tea that I made, a Caveman. So if I make you Caveman, it's about 6 hours before you can drive.
No, it's only because I've been napping.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have a guest on today. We're going to call Crew Mark Shaw, and he's got an upcoming event we're going to talk about.
Cool.
All right, Ray, let's get him on the phone. All right, we're here with Crew Shaw. How you doing, Mr. Mark Shaw?
I'm doing fantastic, Caveman. How you doing, sir?
I'm always doing good, especially when you get to talk to Muay Thai enthusiasts like yourself. I didn't really blow in the open. What do we got going on that we had you on the show?
We got a Muay Thai seminar coming up, if that's what you're asking me. Next weekend, the 26th and 27th, we're bringing Ajarn Chai Suit from Carson, California, out here to train with us.
Can you tell us a little bit about Ajarn Chai's background? I know he brought Muay Thai over to America, and can you give us a little background?
Absolutely. Ajarn Chai actually came and started the Thai Boxing Association in 1968. His uncle sent him over here. He was a colonel in the army in Thailand. Said, I want you to go teach the discipline to the Yankee. So they sent him over here to the United States, and the first place he went to was Woodstock. He actually took a bus across the country and saw Woodstock. He says, man, the American people are crazy.
The hippies.
So he met some Hell's Angels while he was over there in Woodstock, and they heard about him in California, and he started training with the Hell's Angels. And the story goes, the FBI found out about it and started, what are you doing with these guys? So he started training the FBI. And, you know, he's got Thai Boxing associations in 25 countries.
FBI was like, stop training the bad guys. Train us.
So he lived a gangster life for a while, huh?
Fits right in with Ray.
Oh, yeah, he's cool.
He did a little stint with the Dallas Cowboys, right?
He did. He was, he's got Tom Landry's phone number right on his cell phone. I've seen it. But he trained the Dallas Cowboys. He trained with Randy White, and for several years he was the strength and conditioning coach. The first year that he was out there, they had him across their camp, and they said, are you sure you're ready to handle this? And they had, how many guys do they have at the camp? 60, 70 guys?
At least.
And he had them all lined up in formation in the first 30 seconds, and they were duck walking the trap. And Tom Landry said, the job is yours. So he spent several years doing strength and conditioning. He said Randy White was so powerful, had the most powerful kicks he'd ever seen.
Wow, that's pretty amazing coming from a guy that can kick a hole in the wall. Jesus. If any of you guys come to this seminar, hold a pad for Crew Shaw and let him kick you one time, and you'll see what some leg kicks are really like, Ray.
Uh-oh. I don't want to feel that.
I've had that happen. I took 2 steps back.
I'm old, but I can still thump a little bit.
Can you talk about how you personally got involved in Muay Thai?
Yeah, I started in 1989. My best friend, Ajarn Chai, actually says, you got to come out and try this Muay Thai stuff. And so I went out there and went to the East West Martial Arts Academy, and I tested for my shorts the first night. That's a whole other story by itself, but it's pretty funny. But,
wait. So you didn't have any pants on?
No, we had to train in sweatpants. So,
Caveman, no pants.
my first night there, they said, who's going to train for their shorts? And everybody took one big step backward but me.
They set you up.
They set me up, yep. But I passed right there.
Can you talk a little bit about what the shorts test means?
It's a test of your heart. It's kind of like the apprentice instructor test. But it's almost like getting jumped into a gang, so to speak. But that's probably a poor way to put it. But they're testing your heart. It's a milestone for your conditioning and showing your will. So it's something that was traditional, and they mostly did it for the guys that didn't fight. It was a way for them to show themselves.
Karis has a whole thing about the gang thing. You want to get into that real quick, Karis?
Oh, yeah. The first time I saw the test for the instructor's test, I was actually helping to videotape it. And I was sitting there going like, wow, this is just this looks like in the Hong Kong triad movies and how people are initiating into triads and getting beat up like that. So it was a very cool experience.
Yeah, that's Ajarn Chai's test. Anybody who's going to be an instructor and representing his academy, he wants to see their heart.
But yeah,
and it's a very, very, very hard test. But if you make it through it, you know, you got his respect and you got his blessing.
Yeah, I want people to really understand the triad really started as a whole thing about being brave and loyal and justice. So, you know, nowadays the triad kind of changed a little bit, but the way initiating triads in is to show your heart, is to show that you're brave. And everyone at that test and all the tests that I've watched since, all these instructors really show who they are, and I would be proud to train with any of them.
One of the things that I love about Muay Thai is it's very different from many of the other martial arts I trained in. Even karate was like this, and jiu-jitsu is definitely like this. The schools really wanted to control the students, and they didn't really get along so well. Can you talk about how well everyone gets along in the WTBA?
Yeah, absolutely. Ajarn Chai, if you know him, his number one rule is the discipline. And he admonishes all of us, the first thing that you teach is the discipline, especially with the young ones. Everyone has to learn respect and show respect. And when you establish that, we don't have issues, we don't have quibbles and quarrels, and we don't have competition. Everyone sees how hard it is, and anything that anyone gets, they've earned it.
One thing I really took away from Ajarn Chai's seminar right before I left Buffalo BJJ was he was naming. I'm never going to be able to pronounce or remember the person's names that he's talking about. But this guy over here, he's really good at elbows. If you want to get good at elbows, go train with him. And this guy over here, he's really good at knees. Go train with him. And it was just like such an open culture where the fighters would go and train with the people that are specializing in areas they want to learn. And that was like eye-opening to me.
Absolutely. They'll train in different camps, and they'll train with someone who's an expert to up their game. And it's all about, you know, the Thai becoming the best. That's why they dominated for so long.
Can you talk a little bit about the Oregon camp and how bringing Ajarn Chai to Buffalo is such a big deal for people that don't understand?
Absolutely. As you know, I started training back in 1989, and I got an invitation to go to the Oregon camp, and I couldn't go. And life happens, and you go through circumstances and jobs, and families go, and all that kind of stuff. And years later, I find myself in Buffalo training with a Caveman. And for several years, I trained Professor Anselone, brought me up to Buffalo BJJ, and we about 5 years we were up there, weren't we?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I always talked about was one of my life regrets was not being able to go to the Oregon camp. And one of the things that I will never forget is you guys coming up to me and saying, you're going to the camp. It was just an amazing thing. It was an amazing trip. You're talking about 180 fighters from maybe 15 countries all coming to one place to train Muay Thai with Thai champions. The guys that are there are all Ajarn level instructors, and that's what you do all day long, is train, eat, sleep, Muay Thai. So the Oregon camp is a pretty spectacular event if people can go to it. It's invitation only. Ajarn Chai invites people to go to it, and that happens at the seminar, and that's a great reason to go, because if you get an invitation from him to go to Oregon, it's a trip of a lifetime. You don't want to miss it.
Can you talk a little bit about how rare it is to get Ajarn Chai here? I know how hard you worked and how much you had to establish Muay Thai in Buffalo and Jamestown just to get him to come here. I remember driving down to Pittsburgh with you to go see him, and it was quite a spectacular event. And just to bring him here, can you talk about what it took to get him here?
Yeah, you know, we really lucked out. There was a country that wasn't able to take the seminar, and we had reestablished our relationship in Oregon, and he called me up and said, "Sir, suppose I come to Buffalo." and we were able to get him here, and the fact that we're getting him again this year is pretty amazing because he's cut his seminar schedule in half. He's only doing half the number of seminars that he was doing. So we're very, very fortunate to have him here. The other part of it is that he loves our culture. He loves Buffalo. He loves the attitude of the people that come to the seminars. There's no haughtiness, no attitudes, no politics. Everybody just comes there to enjoy training. It's like a big family. So he wants to come back. He kept us on the schedule. So I think we're really privileged in that way.
I think a lot of that comes to you. I mean, almost everyone that trains in Buffalo somehow trains through you. They train through Crew Keith at WNYMMA, or they train through you at Jamestown, or one of the other students that you've trained. So I think that family atmosphere all really leads back to you, which comes from Ajarn Chai. It's a really good thing to see.
Well, you know, one of the things I take from him is you got to love everybody a little bit, and that's what I try to do.
One other thing I've really taken away from you is that everyone has a reason to fight, and everyone's reason's a little bit different. I've worked with probably hundreds of fighters since my time with you, and can you just talk a little bit about that philosophy? I found that really inspiring as well.
Yeah, you know, as you recall, I started up in Buffalo, and we talked about having a fight team and getting fighters in the ring and really growing the Muay Thai fight scene in Buffalo. And the first 6 months, 8 months, it really wasn't happening. I mean, it was me and you and a couple other people, but it really wasn't growing, and I was getting frustrated with it. And one day, on my hour-and-a-half ride to Buffalo, I started to think, you know what? I got a person in the class who's fighting a nicotine problem, and I got someone who's battling a weight problem, and there's another person who's been bullied, and someone else has got a confidence problem. And I realized as I was driving to the gym that, you know what? I am training fighters. Every one of those people is fighting something, and they're using Muay Thai to do it. And I realized that everything I wanted was right there. Everybody has their fight.
I have to say that's one of the most inspiring things for me, going through those times with you and Jeff and all the other fighters, Keith, the Forant family, and that inspired me to really join to do Muay Thai. I started on the Thursday nights, the Muay Thai conditioning class, and just wore my butt off. I loved it, and I've stuck to doing Muay Thai as much as I can until today, and that's about 6-7 years ago that I started doing Muay Thai at Buffalo BJJ with you guys. You really bring that inspiration to the team, and I fell in love. So I just want you to know that was great.
Yeah, Muay Thai is better than BJJ in my opinion.
Oh man, Ray's throwing us under the bus.
I like Muay Thai better. When I first started going to Western New York MMA, that was the first class I was taking, and I fell in love with it.
You would like Ray, Crew Mark. He's got a serious leg kick, but you'd be very disappointed with his cardio discipline.
Ray's coming to the seminar, right?
I gotta say, by the way, Karis did 200 squats yesterday, so she's not sitting in the chair so good. But we worked really hard.
200 squats and umpteen minutes of suicide and getting tossed around by 12, 14-year-olds. It was great. It was a great day.
Helps kick leg kicks, so that's good.
Yeah. Did you hear that Crew Keith is fighting again?
I did not hear that.
Yeah, it's breaking news. I'm going to try and get him on in a little bit and talk about it. But I just found out last night, so expect to see some...
He's a quiet warrior, isn't he?
Yeah. Crew Mark works down in Jamestown now at Kinetics. So if you guys are interested in taking lessons from Crew Mark, it's at Kinetics down in Jamestown. I try and take the ride as much as I can down there. When I was actively fighting, I used to drive down there 3 times a week, much to my wife's chagrin, but we made it happen.
By the way, Crew Mark,
you've got a great support group there.
I wanted to tell you one thing. I was at a work training thing, and I met another fighter out of Dallas, and I showed him. Remember when Forrest went down there with us, and you worked with him on the punching combos? And I showed that I showed that little video clip to the fighter that I met from Dallas, and he was so impressed. He was like, "Oh my gosh, he looked great." So thanks to you, I have that little proud mommy moment to show off on Forrest's punching combos from you. So thank you.
That's a great story.
Can you tell us a little bit about the seminar, how much it costs, where it's going to be, the time, all that fancy stuff that I don't know?
Absolutely. You have the seminar starts Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, and it goes until 5 in the evening. There'll be a lunch break in between. and it's 5 hours of training. Muay Thai form is where Ajarn Chai always begins, making sure that people know the stance. He's a real stickler when it comes to that. But the amazing thing about Ajarn Chai is if you're there, he's watching you. I don't know how he does it, but he sees everybody in the room. Everyone gets personal attention from him. It doesn't matter if you're a fighter and you're getting ready for a fight on September 9th or October 6th, because I know those events are coming up, or if you're just a hobby Muay Thaiist or training Muay Thai for health benefits or whatever, you'll enjoy it. You'll get something out of it. And he does a lot of work on technique, on combinations, and it goes through till Sunday. It'll start the same time, 11 o'clock in the morning, go till 5 o'clock in the evening on Sunday. Saturday night, we plan on having dinner at the Pearl. Is it Pearl Street?
Yeah, that's really close to there,
Okay,
too.
yes, sir. Yeah, we're going to have the dinner there Saturday night, and the people at the seminar are welcome to come and attend and enjoy just visiting with Ajarn Chai. It's a pretty good time.
It was pretty cool. One time we went, when you had the thing over in the pew, and the Wegmans was next door, just sitting with Ajarn Chai, listening to some of the stories. He's so accessible. He doesn't go with other instructors and sit away from everybody. He sits and he jokes with everyone. It's a very, very cool experience. It's like sitting down and talking with Hicks and Gracie. It's super cool.
And that's the thing that's distinctive about this seminar that's different than other ones. They kind of swoop him away and, they don't let him mingle. We want everyone to enjoy him, and we want him to enjoy everyone. He remembers people's names. I don't even know how he does it. But he remembers about their family. I mean, he remembers you and Karis, Forrest. He remembers it all. So, that's how we do it differently, is we let everybody enjoy him.
The third seminar I went to, I don't even remember how many that we've done. But the first two I had Forrest, Destiny, and my wife with us. And we went down, and it was just me that time. And he asked about my wife, and he remembered Destiny and Forrest. He didn't remember their names, but he remembered the little blonde girl and the Asian boy. And he remembered, distinctively remembered them. And that's amazing because he probably sees 1,000 people, more than 1,000 people a month, doing all the seminars and his own students and students. These are pretty amazing. That's a pretty amazing memory. He's got all these little tricks that they're all little mind games. He's very good at when he drops a paper and you try and catch it, or close your eyes and lean one direction or the other. He's so good at understanding the mental aspect of the game as well.
Yeah, don't give too much away.
I can edit some of that out, but there's some great tricks he's got. Every time it's a new one too. I haven't seen the same one twice yet.
I know I used to go.
Well, the other thing about it is he draws good people, and we're looking at Crew John Cowan is going to be there. Ajarn Bobby Gambetta from Dryden, New York, who's a Goodwill Games boxing champion. He's a Savate fighter. He's a black belt in Jin Fan. He's a Kali Eskrima guy. He's going to be there. So many guys. Coach Wally out of Rochester is going to be coming from Bang Muay Thai. It just draws some really, really talented people, and that's the nice thing about it, because whether you're a beginner or intermediate, you're going to see something and learn something, and everybody has just a great personality, and they're so approachable. So you take so much. You're going to leave with more than you came with. I guarantee you that.
All right. We missed the pricing and the location of the seminar. I'm just thinking, I was going over in my head what we talked about, but we missed pricing, location, and how we sign up.
Yeah. You can sign up at www.westernnewyorkmuaythai.com. And the location is Buffalo United Martial Arts, right there at the Riverwalk. Is that what it's called?
Riverworks at 333
Riverworks.
Ganson
Okay,
Street.
Riverworks. It's $85 for one day. It's $170 for 2 days. And that's about half the price that you see at many other places that you would go to. I try to make it as accessible as I can for everyone. But, that's the venue we're having it at, right down there at the Riverwalk.
Riverworks.
So I hope to see everybody there.
Just a real quick thing about the price. Most seminars are about $100 to $150 a day for a 2 to 3 hour seminar. You're getting 5 hours Ajarn Chai. It's a pretty good deal per hour, like when you break it down by hour. I know a lot of people are always thinking about the cost to seminar ratio, but it's a very good seminar. And not only that, it's stuff that anyone can use. My wife, who is not very experienced in Muay Thai, always picks something up, right?
Right. I was going to say earlier that I started going to these seminars really just to meet Ajarn Chai and listen to him. Ajarn Chai he's a very wise man, and just by listening to him talk, not even participate in the seminar itself, just sitting on the side and listening to him talk, I gained so much for those years I used to just come and listen. And then to actually participate in that twice now is a experience of a lifetime. I love it. I love to go into the seminar, even though sometimes it's a little hard for me to keep up, but I do my best to keep up. And earlier, Kumar mentioned that Ajarn Chai he sees everyone in the room, and he does. He really does see you. He will come over to us, like, we're not fighters. We don't obviously look like we train every day, but he will walk over and really talk to us, correct our forms, and work with us. And that's not something you're going to see at other seminars. Other seminars, if you go and you don't look like you're fit, people don't even bother with you. And Ajarn Chai personally will come and correct you and work with you. And that's amazing.
So you gonna lose some weight in this training here. 5 hours of training. Just 30 minutes of no tie. You'll be sweating.
Well, I could put it in perspective for you. I know people who've saved $3,000, got their passport, flew to Thailand, spent a week there, paid for their private lessons, and come back and not learned as much as they learned in one seminar with Ajarn Chai. That's how much technique you get.
Are you speaking about one individual over at Kinetics?
I am not.
I will throw you under the bus, Jeremy Stopa. You should come to the seminar and check it out. You'll learn more than Thailand. I guarantee it. Caveman doesn't pull any punches.
Poor Jeremy.
I'm going to tag him in this, too.
I don't even really know Jeremy, but poor Jeremy.
And Dylan Freeman better be there, too.
Oswald! Don't cut that out, Jeff.
All right. I got one other thing to say about the seminar that I thought was really cool, and it goes back to the whole respect thing that Ajarn Chai always stresses. I remember when my kick sucked really bad, and I went to the seminar, and he's like, "You, sir, who is your teacher?" And then he made us all do push-ups, and he made you do push-ups, and he made me watch. I thought I was dead.
That's funny.
Yep.
Crew Moxley, I didn't forget.
I think I remember that. That was down in College Station. That was a very memorable trip too. And I swear to God, every time we go to a Ajarn Chai seminar, it's a memorable experience. It's something we always remember. All these years, I can probably, for every time I've met Ajarn Chai at these seminars, I can have a story that I remember to talk about. It is how amazing these seminars are, really.
Yeah, it came, man. Everybody was pissed off at you.
They were. That happens a lot. He's a very consummate professional too. You remember the story about how his hotel started on fire like 2 days in a row? Crew Mark? Do you remember?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I'll tell the story. He the day before he flew into Buffalo for our seminar, his hotel started on fire and they rushed him out of the room. He didn't get to sleep and he ended up having to fly out to Buffalo. Then that night in Buffalo, the fire alarm went off at the hotel, and they thought there was another fire, so they evacuated that hotel, but it wasn't on fire. I remember that story very vividly. I don't even remember why, and then he just showed up, and it was like there's nothing wrong. He probably hadn't slept in, 48 hours.
Wow.
He's superstitious, too.
Yeah. All right. One more story, and we'll let you out of here. What's the most memorable thing you remember about doing any of these seminars with Ajarn Chai?
Oh my gosh. We're talking Cayuga camps in Cayuga Lake where we were training 8 hours a day, 4 days a week. Back in the 90s, the Oregon camp is spectacular. Amazing things happened in all of them. Probably the most memorable thing that happened, though, was New York State was being accused of getting an easy test. And so Ajarn Chai, he doesn't like politics. So 5 of us were scheduled to test on Sunday, and he got on the Thai pad Saturday night with each one of us, and we all had to do like a 9-minute round on the Thai pad with Ajarn Chai. I mean, he was killing us. And everybody that was sitting in the gym watching, there wasn't a single person in the room that wanted to be us. You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And then, so after he was done, like, tearing us up, put down the Thai pads, and he looked at everybody in the room and said, suppose you think New York gets an easy test. Maybe you don't think that anymore. And he walked out of the room.
Of course, Crew Mark is the one that's got to get that happen to him.
Yeah. It was like 3 minutes went by, and then 6 minutes went by, and he says, suppose you don't block this, I'm going to knock you out. Everybody's staring, and oh my goodness. Like, how long was I out there? So, and then to have to test the next day, it wasn't any easier.
People have been knocked out taking that test, correct?
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
That's not a joke. The instructor test is for real. I mean,
Yeah, in fact, my first instructor, Kevin Seaman, he got knocked out in his test. He got knocked out by Ajarn Greg Nelson.
If you get knocked out, do you get a chance to come back and finish the test, or are you out? You got to wait for the next seminar.
Like a concussion.
Yeah, if you get knocked out, if you don't finish your Tixon round, sometimes they give you a chance to do another round. But if you get KO'd, it's come back next time.
But see, that's why if any instructors that is tested under Ajarn Chai, you're getting a really good instructor because they really been put through fire and water and flood and everything you can think of. These people have come out to become instructors under Ajarn Chai.
It's not a McDojo.
No, it's definitely not a McDojo.
No.
I got one more thing to say, and I'll let you out of here, Mark. This is a great thing about you. There's not one better person I know in mixed martial arts and Muay Thai than you. And if there's any reason to come out to the seminar, even if you don't know Ajarn Chai and you listen to me or you trust me, come out to meet Crew Mark Shaw. He's one of the best guys in the business. He'll never steer you wrong. He'll always treat you honestly and fairly. There's not too many people I say that about. Mark Shaw, Eric Herbert, and Keith Forant. Those are the only three people that I would trust in my life that I've dealt with in this fighting world. And you can't go wrong meeting any one of these guys. And two of those three guys will be there for sure.
Well, thank you, Caveman. I owe you a big hug.
All right, I'll take it, Uncle Mark. All right, we'll let you out of here, sir. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. We'll plug the seminar, and we'll add the link to this podcast when we post it.
All right. Thank you, Caveman. Karis, it was good hearing your voice. Hope
Yes.
to see you soon.
Yes.
And Mr. Arias, you keep training hard, sir. I can't wait to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you
Good
better make it
talking
out
to you.
there, Ray. All right.
I'll see you soon, Mark. Nice talking to you.
All right.
Goodbye, sir. Perfect
Oh.
timing, Ray. Ray hung up on Crew Mark.
Ray,
Fired.
Oh, damn.
now you need to come to the seminar
I'm
just to make up for that.
I'm rusty here.
Yeah.
That nice long vacation you had with your girl.
Not doing well. My wife listened to the last Easter egg, by the way, and she didn't think it was that bad.
Oh,
It wasn't that bad.
oh.
It was nice and short and sweet.
Ray's girl don't listen to anything he does anyways.
I was going to say,
So I'm
how
saying-
does it matter?
The only time Karis listens is when I put her up like, oh, you should hear what Ray said at the end. That's the only way I got a view out of her.
Yeah, I skip all the way to the end to hear what Ray says.
Oh, yeah, the couch is great.
Ray.
Getting used to it?
We'll get out. We'll talk about the McDojo thing after.
Okay.
All right. Well, I got you guys here. Maybe we can do a quick review of King of the Cage and try and get our viewership up to help Crew Mark get some guests to his seminar. So, what did you think about King of the Cage, Karis?
Oh, it was awesome. It was probably the best fight events we've gone to in a while. I really thought it was great.
Well, that's what happens when you have a lot of pro fights. It's on a reservation, so they're able to get a bunch of pros in without paying a huge insurance fee. So it works out really well. They have a pro-am card. It's mostly, I think there was like 7 professional fights and 3 amateur fights. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, I was disappointed I didn't get to go this show. We had a lot of guys from the gym fighting. Superfly, Eric Herbert, Bubba.
Ray's probably the worst co-host ever. Every time there's a UFC,
Why are you even here, Ray?
I know. Every time there's a UFC, a big fight, Ray's never there. He didn't see it.
Like, is this why I'm here now so that I can fill in for Ray's job because Ray didn't do his job?
You can tell the drinks are hitting Karis pretty good. She's getting pretty vocal over there.
Please don't beat
It's
me
just
up.
Ray.
You know what's funny? We're sitting in the studio, and I'm sitting next to Ray instead of my wife. My wife is all the way across the room. I feel like
know.
a bad husband right now.
But as long as you're not like rubbing his head yet or anything like that.
Well, you can't see what's going on underneath the desk, so we're okay.
Well, let me see where. Let me put your hands where I can see them. Jeff is actually showing me his foot.
Whatever. Foot, leg. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. They're all the same.
They're just limps.
It's not limp.
Whatever. Body parts.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get on to the show.
Okay. Let's turn you to a Jerry Springer show.
I know. I know. We're gonna have a divorce show in a minute, but.
How's that couch, Ray? No, I'm just kidding.
First fight of the night was Ali Rex Heppy, and he's a West New York MMA guy. He fought a bad guy. I don't remember the guy's name anymore.
The bad guy,
The
number
bad guy.
one.
We're gonna call the opponents the bad guy from now on. Came out. It was a pretty exciting fight. He controlled the distance. He hasn't fought in over a year, and he was trying to turn pro. It didn't really quite work out for him, but he got this amateur fight, and I thought he really controlled the first round. Finished the round in an inverted triangle, just blowing up the guy's ribs. What did you think, Karis?
Oh, I was always like Ali. I think he's a fantastic fighter, very dynamic, very athletic. So to see him, I'm not surprised with how the fight went down because just knowing how Ali is as a fighter, it was exciting, and I always like Ali as a person too. So.
But with Ali, even though he didn't fight in a year, MMA, he'd been doing boxing, and
Yeah.
he's always in shape.
Oh, his boxing looked great. Second round, he came out. He got clipped a little bit, and he got a little wild. What's it like when you get hit like that, Ray, and you get a little wild?
I don't, I don't remember getting hit.
Brain damage.
When Ray gets hit, he gets shut off. That's why.
Yeah.
Lights out.
Anyways, he got a little out of control when he got clipped. He ended up getting the fight back to the ground. He won the fight by armbar in the second round. He looked great. He got the armbar in good. A little bit of adjustment. He could finish on top instead of belly down. The guy kind of stepped over his awkward position, but he was strong and athletic enough to finish the armbar. So he won by armbar in the second round. Great fight for Ali. Dude, his tattoo looks good with his arm raised, right?
I love that tattoo. I gave him a hug yesterday and told him how awesome his tattoo looks.
Yeah, looks great.
It's amazing.
He's got a tattoo on his arm now. He had it when he came to the studio.
Wait. Do you know his family owned a pizzeria?
No, I did not know that.
Gino's New York Pizzeria.
Really?
Yep.
They own Gino's?
Yep.
Oh, let's go get pizza there.
I think they had one in South Park, but they sold it, I guess. But I think they got the one in Elmwood now.
Wow. We should have them be the official hosts of the show and give us pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Come on.
Gino's Pizza.
Yeah.
What is the official name, Ray? Gino's
New York Pizza, I think.
Gino's New York Pizza.
We are in New York.
Where in New York?
716 podcast. Oh, wait, that's already taken.
Ah,
Now I can tag them in this as well.
there you go.
You know what? Let's take over.
Yeah,
damn it.
they're a bunch of fat guys. They can't beat us up.
I
That was really loud.
don't know who they are. I didn't say anything about it. I don't want to be involved.
Yeah. There's 3 or 4 of them, but we could take them all.
Oh, yeah.
Ray and Caveman would take care of it, apparently.
All right, next fight was not a West New York MMA guy anymore, but he trained there for a little bit. Jeremy Stopa came out. After his time in Thailand, he came out, and he looked like he didn't go to Thailand at all because he took the guy down right away, beat the snook out of him, got back up, round ended, took him down again, beat the snook out of him, and got a rear naked choke.
That's because he hangs out with Dylan Freeman.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of wrestlers. They were up in the Adirondacks,
Yeah. And he's
playing
in-
banjos and drinking moonshine.
and he's in shape, too, man. The country bumpkin's got 6
Yeah.
packs.
Yeah, he was in shape. He's a really strong guy.
I don't really know much about Jeremy Stopa as a person. I know I've heard his name a lot when he was working out at Western New York MMA for whatever reason. I heard his name a lot. Never knew who the guy was for a long time, and I finally realized who he was. But I thought he's I've seen him do the wrestling. The jiu-jitsu exhibition match at Ground Force before. He looks like a really strong, tough guy. So. Again, not surprised he won. And he was training with one of the best camps
And he's
in the
a
Jamestown
military guy,
area.
too, right?
Yeah.
He's a Marine.
I don't know exactly what service he was. He was in the service and he's a CO.
Tough guy, man. Tough.
Yeah, he's tough guy.
I never met him. I got him. I'm friends with him on Facebook, but yeah, he's a tough son of a bitch.
He sure is.
Don't ever find anybody you don't know in real life.
Ray just lost all his friends on his friends list.
But he's like, that's the only way I can get friends.
Next fight for us was Eddie Weiser. A lot of people thought this fight was a little bit boring, but it was a great fight back. His first professional win. Eddie Weiser is a goddamn tank. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, he looked like a fucking animal out there.
When are you going to do some rounds with him? That'd be some good look for you.
Oh, yeah?
Ray's giving me a look like, what are you throwing me under the bus for, Caveman?
Ray, commit to it by facing the mic. Commit to it.
Caveman, you are right. I need to do some rounds with him.
Yeah, for sure. He's great. He came out, he whacked the guy dude right off the bat, and that guy looked like, please take me down. So he he got hit, and he backed up to the cage with his hands up, like, please don't hit me again. Eddie took him down, and he stayed on top for the whole round. Second round was the only time I seen Eddie get hit. He got clipped with a little bit of an uppercut on the shot. He took him down. Beat him up again for the whole round. I mean, I think the guy landed 1 punch in 2 rounds. Third round, Eddie came out again. They exchanged a little bit. As soon as Eddie cracked him, the guy put his hands up. Eddie took him back down again. He was on top for a whole nother round. Started landing some elbows in the third round. I talked to him after the fight. He wasn't really that disappointed in his performance. He thought he could do a little bit better, but he just wanted to get his first professional win. Came in there. He was totally in control of the fight. I honestly thought it should be at least 30-26, if not 30-25. And he won the unanimous decision.
Hey, K-Man, when you have your first professional fight, I mean, you're going to be nervous, right?
It wasn't his first fight, but he was just
professional fight.
Oh, for sure. It wasn't his first professional fight either. He had a loss or two. He's been off for over a year. His first time back in the cage and well over a year. Style was completely different now. He fixed up all his holes in his game, and, man, he was ready to go. I've never seen him look better.
It shows that training pays.
It sure does.
And I think if we win that Powerball this Wednesday, we should hire Weiser as our bodyguard.
Yeah, for sure. And Eric Herbert.
Yes. I didn't say Eric because Eric has like lofty goals. I'm not sure we can really afford him even when we win the Powerball. But I think we can afford Weiser to be our bodyguard.
Or you could go to Save a Lot and get Mickey.
Never mind.
We don't want to have his lips kissing all the white girls.
At least he get girls.
Yeah, that's true. All right, next up was Anthony Bubba Norton.
The two times TNT champion.
Two weight class TNT champion.
2 weight class. He was somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't mess that up.
He came up through TNT, like an organization I hold really dear to my heart.
Oh, yeah, same here, man.
Yeah.
I'm at TNT.
Yeah, he won. He defended both titles multiple times. He's an awesome fighter. Really good to see. He hasn't had such a great pro career luck. He hasn't had such luck in the pros lately. I think he's losing a little bit of his step. He had probably his best years in TNT. He's had a lot of gym wars too. It's really showing in his stand-up that he's slowing down a little bit. And he had another great fight. He fought Vince Ciotoli.
I want to see you kick his ass.
You want to see me kick Vince Ciotoli?
Yeah, I want to see that too, Jeff.
And tag him in this.
I will tag him in this. I actually tagged him in a write-up. I did a write-up for this as well. But
so
first, let's get to Bubba before we talk about me
okay.
real quick, because I want to give the fighters their just desserts before we start stomping on these guys.
Good for you.
Vince and Bubba came out, and they had a hell of a first round. They exchanged positions. Bubba was chasing him down. Vince actually looked the most flat-footed I've ever seen him in any fight. Bubba and him were exchanging great. They had a lot of good exchanges on the ground. Bubba had his back a few times. He just couldn't pull the trigger and finish him. Second round came. Bubba was really tired. I think he was posted for 2.5 weeks about how hard this weight cut was for him, getting back down to 160. He walks around. He's a big guy, you know. Cutting his weight to 60 is a lot for him. And you could really see that in the second round. He got really tired. And Vince Ciotoli took over and ended up finishing Bubba. Bubba just couldn't muster up escape anymore. He just kind of had to lay there. And when you're tired, man, sometimes you'd rather get hit than try and work to get out. And that's what happened. And he got finished. TKO stoppage.
Yeah, weight cutting is not fun. And you got to have a science to it. You got to know what you're doing.
That's right. At 160, I won't even have to cut weight to fight Vince, so I won't even be tired. I have to put some weights in my pocket.
Hey, Kim's listening.
Oh, yeah. I got in trouble, actually, for putting weights in my backpack to wait for ground force fights. Kim talked to me for 20 minutes about that.
Come on, Kim.
You got a lecture.
I did get a lecture.
It's a freaking grappling match. Come on.
Yeah.
Did you do that in high school?
Kim does not give her time away like that.
So, Rich Mitchell, if I got you in trouble at ground force fights, I apologize to you and your commission. And that's another person we can tag in this.
Rich probably cursing you out.
Yeah, he probably
He's
is.
sleeping.
I don't know. Rich Mitchell is probably one of the best fight promoters in the area right now.
He's definitely the best.
So when is TNT coming back? Because TNT can still I miss TNT, by the way, guys. I know I didn't find it, but I miss it.
I think Rich Mitchell should do a TNT when he do his shows in Buffalo.
Yeah. Anyways, Vince Ciotoli's now what is he? He's 2-1 against Western New York MMA. He beat Todd Liberati, he beat Bubba Noren, and he lost to Superfly in a crazy fight that was really close. So I think we should try and make it 2-2.
Yeah, even it up. Get revenge, Caveman.
Jeff Dunst versus Vince Ciotoli.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
At
I try my
155.
best.
King of the Cage and Niagara Falls Casino.
145.
That's Salamanca. Salamanca's the next one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then after that, Superfly came out and fought.
You know what? Superfly.
No.
is an animal.
No.
Are you talking about all the fights, or are you gonna only talk about Western New York MMA?
Just the Western New York MMA guys.
Okay.
Oh, we can talk about the girl fight if you want.
Yeah. That's
All
what
right.
I was about to go.
So
talk about.
they switched the whole card next.
Wait a minute. One more second.
You miss a girl fight. Too bad for you. You should have come to the show.
Was there the Asian lady there?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's hot.
Well, you missed it because you didn't show up, Ray. Next time, maybe you should just show up.
I seen the picture, the poster. She's hot.
The Crazian.
The Crazian. Not only that, the Crazian was in our locker room. Yeah. And actually, I got a funny story about this. She was on FaceTime with her nail salon. So I was like, man, how stereotypical is that? So I texted my wife. I was like, guess who this lady's talking to? And she's like, I'm at the nail salon too.
And it was run by the Asians.
Yeah, an Asian nail salon. So I was like, man, this is how stereotypes get made.
Yeah, but they make good money though.
Yeah.
They do. And I'll plug my nail salon, TK Nails, on Canmore Avenue. They're doing a great job. Love my green nails, even though my nail person was like, "Are you sure you like those?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
So I'm gonna tag the Crazian in this too. But yeah, she had a great fight. She was in our locker room. I loved her shorts. They were a little short, but I liked her shorts.
They're skirts. They have the little skirt thing going on in front of the shorts.
Yeah, I need a tie skirt like that, but I want mine longer than hers.
Yeah, because otherwise they're gonna have to like put the little squares around it.
Yeah, well, my balls fall out because it's really tight.
Although they had to actually, there was. I mean, I really don't want to promote this, but it did happen. So for one thing is, she came out with a long sleeve on top. So at the cage side, they actually had to make her cut off her sleeves, and it was a crop top. So when she was in the ring, I forgot, it was the fourth round maybe. They actually had to kind of stop the action and have her pull down her top because it was being broadcast live on Facebook, and her top was riding up a little bit. So just another thing to show that women fighters go through so much more stuff.
It was actually, they started on the feet, and she was in a very compromised position. The girl had her back, and she was forced to try and hold her top down instead of fighting off the hands to get to the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then they make it to the ground, and then the referee stops it so she can adjust her top a little bit because as they fell, nothing where it was visible, but it was close to being a wardrobe malfunction, and she had to adjust her top. They really need to make female attire for these ladies that works, and it should be unified, that all the ladies have to wear the same amount of clothing. Yeah. And she put on a great 5-round war with the Canadian fighter who I forgot her name.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
fighting
I'm Asian.
for Jay Kelly?
She was a Canadian, so she fought with the Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly was there to watch her.
Oh, okay.
But she's not a Jay Kelly fighter. I apologize. It was a 105 atom weight title too, so it's a world title. A world title was fought for in Buffalo for the 105-pound women's weight class. Yeah. So it was great. We had Canadians come down to watch and everything.
Yeah, the cool Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
They crazy. They can't drive, but they cool.
Yeah.
But I have to say, even the Croatian lost, she definitely put on a war. Mm-hmm. I was so impressed by her, even though she lost. My heart goes out to her, and I know you had the backstage view of how a fighter really.
I'm gonna do a whole blog about this, so don't ruin it too much.
Okay, so I got to see a backstage picture just because my husband's backstage with these fighters. I've gone through this with Jeff. I've seen this with other fighters from the groups, and I just want to say, if people think these people just go out there and this is just a celebrity thing, it's not. It's really tough, and when you take a loss, and sometimes people want you want to support your fighter, but try not to make too much fun of the losing fighter, because it's heartbreaking sometimes when they go backstage especially in her case, because then her corner had to leave to help someone else, and she was all by herself and
Right.
have to kind of suck that up. So
That's all right. I was back there. I told her like that you liked her. Also, I made fun of her before she went out. I did make the nail polish the nail salon joke to her. I didn't just text about it. I made fun of her, and she's like looked at me like, who's this crazy bearded caveman guy?
Yeah, you know, with my father, if I was to lose a fight, he'd make fun of me.
I would too.
He's so mean.
We'd make fun of you on Caveman's Corner when you lost. Like when you made fun of me when a little muscly guy beat me up.
Jeff, Ray really needs to get that out. Let him have his moment there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ray.
Wait, who's the little muscle guy?
The pretty boy.
Oh, I didn't.
Hendershot.
Oh.
Ray threw me under the bus
Beauty-
that I
Beauty
it was so
versus the
bad.
Wait, what? I gotta get this story.
It was so bad I had to cut it out of the last podcast. That's why you have to redo this
Oh,
review. Because
really?
Ray threw me under the bus so bad I didn't want it out
What?
publicly.
Why were you throwing your host under the bus like that? I mean, Gray's handsome, but not handsome enough to throw Jeff under the bus like that.
Beauty versus the Beast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough.
It's funny
But
too.
I was rooting for you. I wanted you to beat the pretty boy.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, he had too many muscles. You couldn't beat him.
Wow. You know, the truth sometimes does hurt.
And it was funny right before we went out to compete because I compete against him the next week after. Karis was like, man, you got everything on him. You're so much more handsome than my husband. You have so many more bigger muscles than my husband. I was like, God damn, what am I supposed to do now? He looked uncomfortable.
Okay, great.
came out-
Just so you know.
He came out to a better song.
Well, wait. You can't trash Peaches. That you cannot trash that song, okay? I draw the line there. Gray might be more handsome, have more muscle, got more girls liking his Instagram, but the song we cannot trash that.
Straight from the caveman's wife's heart.
Hey, Caveman, he's going against a Canadian too, right?
Yeah. They exchanged wins and losses at the tournament at the Tabal Cancer tournament.
Oh, okay.
Gray beat him in their weight class, and then he beat Gray in the absolute division.
Oh.
And he beat me in the absolute division.
That
And
guy was good, but he has no sense of humor.
No,
Not like Gray.
No, he wasn't laughing.
Yeah, because Greg wanted to tickle you.
Yeah, he did want to tickle me. He said, what did he say that I had?
You're a jovial trash talker.
Oh yeah, I'm a jovial trash talker. So
he can't get mad at
It was
Jeff.
and it was funny too because he was so nice when he was in the podcast.
Yeah.
He was so nice.
Oh, we were gonna trash talk him and everything, and say all this bad shit about him, and then he was super nice, and we couldn't.
Because Gray's actually a personal trainer. He has a business to watch out for.
All right, next up was Superfly, and Superfly had a hell of a fight.
I
didn't get
loved
to see
it.
though.
I
He's
loved it.
3-0, right?
It's Reno.
3-0. He pro fighter. I'm happy for him, man. He's doing his thing.
You're gonna have to give the review of the first round because I was in the back warming up with Eric Herbert, getting my face punched in by him and Pat Mix at this time.
You know, it's, the memory is a little fussy, but Superfly did great in the first round, and Superfly is an outstanding guy at the gym. So that's my review of the first round. No, but
Fight breakdown by Karis Kai.
Well, this is like 2 weeks ago. You know, a lot of things happened in the last 2 weeks. I had to study for a test. It's not easy when you're old and you have to still study.
This is Forrest, the superhero, who's more important to him than myself, and you
Well,
don't remember the fight.
Well, he's not. I like Fountain. I think he's a great guy. He's not my superhero, so I'm sorry, Fountain. I still like you.
No, Gray's our superhero.
But I think what really struck me was the second round. Were you there for the second round? Did you see some of it?
I've seen the video of the kick, so I'll get into that part. I can
Oh,
break
you're the
down
host
fight.
of the show.
Yeah,
Let
I'm
me
the
let you
host of
have
the
your
show.
job back.
Psh, be quiet now, since you don't know what we're talking about. Go back to the woman corner. Oh,
Ouch. Where is AJ Mo and Kay Allen?
Yeah, when we do the feminist
and
podcast.
Amelia.
Yeah.
Come on the show, ladies.
Is that how you say a science girl's name?
Stop calling her that. Amelia.
Amelia. All right.
Even Forrest knows how to say her name.
All right, I know now too.
All right, there you go.
Cruzo! I don't know how to say her last name.
It's like, we
All
drink.
right, all right,
No,
all
just
right.
kidding. Oh, God, I just got shut out.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I gave her the wave to like the.
all right.
Yeah, all right. We gotta get back to Superfly now. Let's get his glory moment. He
Can you call that out?
No, he he threw a great head kick, and his opponent went to block it, and he kicked him so hard he broke his opponent's arm. His opponent clinched over in pain off to the side. Superfly went to stomp him. The referee jumped off, jumped on him and pulled Superfly off. And Superfly actually got more hurt from getting pulled off from the ref than he did in about 9 minutes of a fight. So it was an awesome finish, a great statement win for Superfly, who's now 3-0, looking for some more big things. The guy had I think he had 11 fights. He was a good opponent for Superfly, and it was just a perfect matchup for Felton. Felton handled him.
So, Superfly, how's his wrestling? Good?
His wrestling defense is phenomenal. Me and Eric both have a hell of a time taking him down.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into his weaknesses, but his wrestling defense is on point right now. You'd have to be a hell of a wrestler to take him down.
Yeah, he's young. He just got the talent, man.
Yeah, and he was loose on the feet. He looked good on the feet, man. This is the first time I've seen him look really loose in a fight, a pro-level fight. It's been a long time since you've seen an amateur Superfly breaking jaws with head kicks. That guy is back, and he's in town.
He's awesome. I think
title fight in the future?
Gotta be. Maybe UFC title fight.
Now I'm going to ask you that. So, okay, we got the Black Dragon, Solomon, Renfro, Pat Mix, and we got Superfly. Young guys, right? Undefeated. UFC.
Why are you just leaving out the white guy?
What white guy?
What white guy? Who's the head coach of our team?
Eric Herbert.
Yeah, he's going to be fighting for a world title soon. What about him? Well, you only like black guys, right?
No. I said him last week. I just lost count. Eric Herbert, too, yes.
Right.
I like Eric Herbert. He's my favorite coach.
So you mean Jeff is not your favorite coach?
Jeff, still. I like Jeff. I like everybody.
What about Mike Dub?
He's good, so I like him, too.
Corey Webster.
All right, we're not throwing Ray under the bus.
I like everybody. What's New York MMA?
Doug Lampier.
To answer,
I like Big Corey, multi guy. I like Corey Webster. I like everybody.
To answer your question, I think all those guys could make it in UFC. Pat Mix is the one that's on the cusp. Solomon's got a little bit of stuff to work through. Get his record up a little bit. Yep. He's got the athletic talent for it. Superfly starting to ride a high. If he can stay loose and just improve his jiu-jitsu finishes a little bit, man, he's going to be right there too. These guys are all ready to make the jump. Eric Herbert's ready to make the jump. He's fighting for a world title and King of the Cage. King of the Cage is a national organization. Right. It's not some local show.
Right.
These guys, they're fighting guys from around the world, and they're killing them. Pat Mix's guy was phenomenal. You got one guy that's fighting in Bellator soon. I'll give him a quick shout out. TJ Sumler. Yep. He is fighting in Bellator this weekend.
Not this weekend.
This Friday, right?
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's this Friday.
I'm
it's this
sorry.
weekend.
Yeah, it is this one. Oh,
He's
time
fighting,
really flew.
He's fighting Friday in Bellator. We have a guy that made Bellator right now.
Yeah.
The program's up and running.
Go
We're
TJ
all the big
Sumler.
shows. All right. Next to Pat Mix. Pat Mix, another dominating performance.
I think I can break down that fight really quickly.
Go ahead.
Pat Mix basically had great stand-up skill showing up. He had that flying knee that I was just like, I was in awe of how great that looked and worked. And then he took the guy down within the first minute pretty much of all 3 rounds. And the fight were on the ground. His opponent was never able to get out of Pat's back control for the most part. Credits to his opponent for not getting finished at the end. It went to decision, but it was 30-24, 30-24, and 30-26 decision. But Pat is a talent. You just can't deny it. He's out there doing what he has to do, doing everything right. And it is a very up-and-coming fighter out of Buffalo. It's great to see that. And on the national stage, like Jeff just mentioned.
He's been training at Winklejohn's. He just looks phenomenal. He's so good right now.
He is amazing.
He get that back quick.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people because, that is one thing people see Pat's fight. It goes on the ground. He's on your back. But I wouldn't discredit just watching this last fight, I wouldn't discredit his stand-up. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, after the fight, the other guy's coach and the other guy said Pat Mix will never make the UFC fighting like that.
Haters.
I know.
Pat can do a lot damage on the ground and standing up.
Pat will yes.
We're going to have to change his nickname from No Love to Backpack, though. Jesus Christ, he's on everyone's back. Like, within a minute, he's on your back, putting you to sleep.
Yep.
There's no way of getting out of that back control. He's awesome. It's awesome to see.
He's the greatest talent I've ever worked with.
And he go to New Mexico train over there.
Yeah, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yep.
I just said that.
Ray, are you paying attention? Are you here?
Ray's looking at boobies on the thing. He's not paying attention.
We are doing a podcast.
He just zones out when I talk. He's like, I don't want to hear Caveman making fun of me no more.
Ray's just like, mm-hmm.
He's working on his gangster podcast right now. All right, who's left, Ray? Do you know who is left on this card? Main event.
Oh, the Bull.
All right. Eric the Bull Herbert came out, and he cost me $5 goddamn.
You can't get over that, can you?
I will never get over that.
Now he got hold a grudge against Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy Neff, would you stop betting with Jeff in the back?
I know. This is the first time I lost a bet to Tommy ever. Tommy's going to think he's something special now.
Tommy is something special. He's a great boxing coach.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, Eric came out. I thought he was having a hard time establishing a range with his guy. That Johnson guy, he looks short because he's always hunched over, kind of like how TJ walks around, like hunched over a little bit with his head forward. But his arms are really long, and Eric was having a hard time getting in the distance to hit him, and he was losing exchanges. And then all of a sudden, you see Eric throws a spinning back fist, and all of a sudden the fight changes. He turns into the Bull. He threw that spinning back fist because he was losing around. He could feel he was losing around. He needed to change the momentum. We talk about this all the time as coaches, and he did it. He changed the momentum of the fight. Spinning back fist. Karis like, I could just see his eyes open up.
I know. It was awesome to see. I was standing right there under the Jumbotron and just see his eyes change and lit up. It was amazing change of dynamics there.
Then Eric put him down on the ground. The guy kind of got back up. They ran into the cage. Eric put him down again. Guy started to get up. Eric pulled his legs out, punched him a couple of times. The guy gave up his back. Eric choked him. It looked like he just squeezed his jaw off, too. I don't think he was really under the chin. I think the guy was looking for a way out, or Eric just squeezed so goddamn hard it broke his jaw.
Eric got muscles.
He does got muscles.
He's got those guns.
I know I wouldn't tap that, though.
That's because you walk that really thin line between tough and stupid.
Anyways, Eric would have just elbowed my face in anyways. Because he was just on fire that night. 185-pound weight division, be on notice. Eric Herbert is back, and he's coming for a world title. And I was in the corner this time.
It was awesome to see. It was a great fight. It was an absolutely great fight.
And the fight was on how long it would take for Eric to finish the opponent.
The bet?
The bet, yeah. I bet
under 2, right?
I picked under 2.5 minutes. Tommy wanted to give me 3 minutes. I was like, I only need 2.5. It was going to be 2.5 minutes. As soon as Eric gets him on the ground, this fight is over. And I actually thought Eric was going to win by Kimura, but Tommy was right. He had a little bit of trouble on the feet, and it went 3 minutes and 8 seconds instead of 2.5. If it would have went under 3 minutes, I would have been like, you told me 3 minutes, and I would have got Tommy drinking, and he would have agreed and gave me $5. But I couldn't. It was over 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 8 seconds.
You couldn't get Tommy drinking. Tommy went home after the show.
Yeah, I know, but I could get him drinking a different time when he would pay me.
Pay me.
Yeah. Eric blew him in, by the way.
It was a great way to end the show and the night. To have all the Western Europe MMA fighters win for the. I know Bubba had a tough loss there, but still there was a great showing of Western Europe MMA talents. All the fights were great, amazing wins. Nothing was by luck or by chance. It really shows these fighters worked hard to get these wins. So it was great.
All right. Another good night for WNY. We got Keith. We'll do a super quick interview with Keith, and we'll get out of here.
Sounds great.
All right, we're recording. Throwing Keith under the bus right off the bat.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going, Keith?
All right, how you doing?
Good. It's me. I got Ray here,
Hey, what's up, Keith?
Hey, what's going on, Ray?
and I got my wife here. You know her.
Hi, Crew Keith.
Hey, Karis.
Just wanted to call you real quick and get some insight into what you guys are doing for the seminar this weekend. We had Crew Mark on. We talked with him a little bit. Can you give us some details on the seminar?
Yeah, it's going to be a great seminar. Ajarn Chai is coming again. This time we're gonna we plan on being outdoors. However, on the ice rink, we're gonna roll out the tournament pads out there and be able to train Muay Thai out in the open air. It's gonna be fun.
Oh my God! That
I'm
sounds
so
amazing.
excited. This is awesome.
Can you give us a little breakdown of the cost of the seminar and what the folks can look forward to?
I believe it's a 2-day seminar, Saturday and Sunday. For
5 hours each day. There's a lunch break in there. Mark will have a better idea about what the prices are. You can come to one day or both days, whatever it fits in people's schedule.
All right, awesome. We had Crew Mark on. He told us how to get to the seminar. Can you talk a little bit about WNYMMA and your affiliation with Crew Mark and how you got WNYMMA together and putting the seminar together?
Well, I've been with Crew Mark, training under Crew Mark ever since I started doing Muay Thai. First, I started training in Jiu-Jitsu, and Crew Mark started teaching at Buffalo Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy. And my intentions were to fight, originally just fight MMA. And then Crew Mark got us really into the Muay Thai, so I became a Muay Thai fighter and MMA fighter. And then, so naturally, when he ended up leaving Buffalo BJJ and staying, teaching at a gym closer to his home down in Jamestown. And naturally, when we opened up our own gym, Buffalo United Martial Arts, I cut my affiliation with Crew Mark and WTBA.
Who do you think's got harder leg kicks, you or Ray Ayres?
Oh, hell no.
Me or Ray Ayres? I don't know. Maybe we should do.
Oh, hell no.
Maybe we should have a little competition.
I think that is a good idea.
I think it's a good idea, too.
Don't listen to them. Come on, you want to keep
we should set up a time and a day for that, for like now.
Just exchange leg kicks.
No, hell no. Keep going.
We can do a little leg kick exchange, me and Ray.
I think that is a great idea, Ray. Don't chicken out, Ray. You can do it.
Come on, you can go first, Ray.
Ray's only got one. He's going to be out of breath.
Yeah.
I know I just got kicked by Crew Keith not too long ago while I wasn't paying attention.
Well, Caveman, that might be a better question to ask you. I think you sparred with both of us, so you have a better, be able to answer that better.
Oh, I'm going to say Crew Keith kicks the legs way harder than Ray. I don't know. Ray never kicked me. He's always tired by the time he catches up with me.
It's also called techniques.
Yeah.
See your back pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no competition. Keith will whoop my ass.
Yeah, Keith can actually hit me, so I would say Keith.
Yeah. I'll say Keith, too.
Can you talk a little bit about WNYMMA and Muay Thai that you teach there?
We have several classes available at WNYMMA. We have some beginners classes. We teach women's only classes, and then we have co-ed classes as well. Our schedule is diverse with daytime training and nighttime training. The Muay Thai is just taught the same way that it was taught to me, as from mostly a fighter's aspect. Getting people ready to fight in a ring or in a cage, and that's the way we train, whether you plan on fighting or not. We train to be able to fight if that's what you were looking to do.
Awesome. I know you don't like to toot your own horn too much, but you are the only crew in Western New York, correct?
Yeah, under the WTBA, I'm the only certified crew. Next closest would be under Crew Mark. I believe he has Crew Josh Roth is down there, and he might have another crew down there as well. Then you have Anthony Durnell down in Pittsburgh, who's also affiliated under us.
Oh, Durnell's in Pittsburgh? I didn't know he was in Pittsburgh. I thought he was closer.
I believe he's in Pittsburgh.
I think that's true. That's right, too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm stupid.
You got hit too much, Keith.
I did get hit too much. I've sparred with Keith too much. Speaking of sparring, Keith, I heard there's a rumor you might be fighting again soon.
Yeah, we're in negotiations for fighting, hopefully, for King of the Cage in November down in Allegheny. Cool. Got a fight offer. I'm still waiting on for a contract to be sent and signed. So before I make any announcements, I'll wait till I get a contract in hand. But it comes at a good time with Ajarn Chai coming up here next weekend. He'll be giving me plenty of stuff to work on for a fight coming up in November.
I'm not going to spoil the matchup. You can come back on and talk about it when you get it, but I think it's a great matchup for you, and I look forward to punching you in the face soon.
Jeez,
yeah,
okay,
I think it's an excellent. I think it's an excellent matchup as well, and I'm looking forward to some sparring sessions with you too.
Yeah, Ray keeps asking me about a rematch with Bubba for you, but I don't know. That's in the wins too.
That could be a good fight.
Man, if it's in the cards, it will happen. If it's not something that I think about regularly.
That would be something Bubba can come to and, train for it, and it's local.
And you guys can meet at 70 because Bubba doesn't like to cut weight, so.
Oh, yeah, that would be excellent.
Yeah. I know you're not too much for giving up the trail mix either, so it'll be a great fight.
You should never let Jeff know your love for trail mix. You're never living it down. Can't stop talking about it as we walk by it at the store every time.
Makes me think of Keith. What can I say?
I know. You guys love each other. Third twin.
Can you talk about a little bit how Muay Thai has changed your life and what Muay Thai means to you?
It's it's changed my life completely. Both Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, martial arts in general. Before I started training martial arts, I was not I wasn't living a healthy lifestyle at all. I was overweight, and I used to drink a lot of alcohol, so it kind of gave me a reason to start eating a little healthier and put the booze down. So now instead of going out and drinking out all weekend, I like to go and hit the bags, or hit pads, or hit my training partners.
Yeah,
it also gave me the ability to come across and meet some of the best people in my life. Between Crew Mark and Caveman.
Yeah.
It just put me in opportunities to meet the people that are mean the most to me right now.
Definitely, I agree 100%. See, there's still hope for you, Ray. You can put down the booze, lose that weight.
No.
And make some friends.
No, all right.
Like real life friends.
I drink Kool-Aid. That's bad, right? And then I eat a lot of fast
You
food.
drank the whole bomb. I bought you a whole bomb of alcohol. You drank the whole thing in one night, and you were telling me about it. You can't. You gotta get thrown under the bus. You can't tell me that stuff.
Damn, Caveman.
Ray, the best policy is just to not talk right now.
Yes.
No, it's just Can
Can you talk a little bit about how great the people are at the seminar that we're going to run into? We talked about Crew Mark about this, but the WTBA is really like family. Can you talk about that?
Oh yeah, they're just incredible. The people that are involved with the WTBA, from Crew Mark to Ajarn Chai to Crew Ryan, it's phenomenal. You meet these guys like once or twice, and then it's with the affiliates and the other affiliates with the WTBA. It's a brotherhood. So they reach out to you like as if you guys known each other forever. So if there's anything that you need or any kind of training, people are always willing to do whatever needs to be done. So it's incredible. And then even though you guys might only see each other a couple times a year here and there, you build these relationships that are they're almost second to none.
I got 2 more questions for you, and I'll let you get out of here. I know you just got done training. You got to work tonight. Number 1, how tough was your instructor test?
It was pretty tough. It was probably one of the harder things I've done. I've gone into the, ring and cage fought several times before I took my instructor test, and it was one of the more nerve-wracking things I've done. I was definitely way more nervous for the instructor test than I ever was for any other fight I've ever done. And they do that on purpose. They make it so that you're nervous, and you know what's going into it, but it doesn't help. So they put you on the spot, and you have to, demonstrate these techniques in front of, Ajarn Chai, and it's a little nerve-wracking. And then the pad test at the end, it's really, pushes, determines how much, it shows how much heart you have. They're really going to push you and make you expose, the heart that's in you.
What do you think was tougher, the actual demonstration in front of Ajarn Chai or them guys trying to kick your head off?
For me, it was the actual demonstration, trying to show the technique up to the standard of the WTBA in front of Ajarn Chai. We're kind of used to people trying to kick our head off, so that wasn't that wasn't as hard. You know, it definitely was a challenge, but it wasn't as hard as the trying to make sure your standards are as high as the WTBA expects them to be.
Yeah, I have to say, all the crew I've met through the seminar are great people and great crews, and I've trained under crew Keith, and he is definitely a great instructor, very technical. And you know, same thing he was talking about. You know, it doesn't matter you're a fighter or not. They make sure you do the correct forms, and I think that's really important than just going to like a regular fitness kickboxing class where they sort of just say, okay, now do 10 roundhouse kicks, but they don't really care you do it right or not, and you can really hurt yourself if you don't do it right. And you feel so much stronger when you know you have the right technique and you're doing these techniques right, the correct way, and then you have less injury also if you're doing them right. And Crew Keith is great at correcting these forms. So I have a lot of good things to say about the whole Muay Thai community in this area.
Mic drop.
I keep doing the mic drop tonight. I don't know what's up.
You talked so long, everyone forgot what you were saying.
Oh! I'm never coming back to the show.
Hey, Keith, I got to train with you one time, man.
Yeah, you got to go come up. I'm very busy, so it's hard for me to get anywhere else with my training, but you're more than welcome to stop up anytime, man. Maybe get together some Thursday or Saturday evening when me and Jeff get together.
Maybe you guys can iron something out, because Ray is 1-0 against you in the corner.
Ray, you should come Friday nights.
Do you know what I'm talking about,
6:30.
What's that?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, what's that?
He coached Mickey when you Mickey fought.
He was in the corner for Mickey.
Yeah.
For the when me and Mickey fought, that one?
No. Then he'd be 0-1.
Oh, okay. He was in the corner for when Mickey fought Josh.
Yeah, when he fought Josh.
All right.
I wouldn't have been, if Mickey was fighting you, I would not be in his corner.
Ray avoided the corner for that fight.
Ray just didn't show up for that one.
So Ray's gonna coach. He's gonna coach you against me. So he'd have to coach me against you, so you guys can get even. Something.
Yeah.
All right. And the last question I have is another serious question. I personally know you for giving a lot of like tough love. And it's something the WTBA is known about. Can you talk about your coaching philosophies, especially in Muay Thai?
I don't know. I don't really have like a set philosophy as far as my coaching. We want to make sure we have, people are doing the technique the proper way. And the technique changes over time. Sometimes we learn a technique. I mean, you can vouch for this. When we were first learning how to do elbows, they're like completely different now because after people get knocked out or get hit, throwing an elbow, certain parts of the technique get exposed, and we change it to make it better and more efficient and more effective. So that's why it's always important to continue training under Ajarn Chai because he's able to see these things and correct the technique. But as far as my coaching philosophy, it stays with how I was taught with under Crew Mark and under Ajarn Chai. Is we want good technique. And we want to be able to have good conditioning too, because then when you fight, if you don't have the conditioning to throw the technique, you're not going to be able to throw the technique. And as far as like my fighters go, is what I like to instill in them is I always like to tell them, be hard to hit and hit hard.
Man, I missed the whole first part of that when I was fighting. I was never hard to hit. I always tried to hit hard, though. I wish you'd have been my coach. Crew Mark was always just kick him really hard right off the bat.
Yeah.
All right. I thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And we have to have you back when we can make a fight announcement and talk about MMA.
Oh, yeah. As soon as everything, if everything's come official, I'll give you a call. We'll set it up.
All right. That sounds perfect, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to pump the seminar. We'll make sure we tag it and everything when we post this. Anything else, Kirsten?
Awesome.
Get ready to talk.
No, I just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate your time, man.
Thanks, Keith, man.
All right, thanks, Ray. Thanks, Kara. It was a little hard to hear you, Kara, so if I wasn't responding to what you were saying, I apologize.
Oh, no problem. I think Jeff just turned off my mic. That's the problem.
All right, thank you very much, Keith. We're out of here.
All right, you guys have a good night.
You too,
Bye.
sir. Bye-bye. There you go, Ray. You got to get even with Crew Keith. Leg kick contest. Why were you so scared? You're like 2 people bigger than him.
You know, the whole thing was I had to pick up to talk because the two of you were like chit-chatting like teenage little girls over there. And Keith was done talking. And I'm like, I better start talking because the host and the co-hosts have other business going on over there.
We gotta remind each other.
And I couldn't see where their hands were.
Yeah, well, you couldn't see where hands were.
No, my hand was like this.
No, Ray, you can't. No, that was not it.
My hand was like this.
You cannot explain that away. Couches to you tonight.
Oh, jeez. To me,
No, Ray.
I just received. I didn't give. I'm okay. It's not
I never
cheating.
said you had to sleep on the couch. I just said Ray. He's used to anyways. No, just kidding.
Oh, man.
Poor Ray.
Oh, man.
I want all the new listeners to know. We really just pick on Ray because he's such a nice guy.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll get a new listener.
If you tag all the right people, you might.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of tagging in this one. You have to listen to it like 8 times and jot down who we talked about. That's good, though. That's what I do.
I mean, you don't take notes while you're doing this?
Take notes. That's like what smart people do when they podcast.
Can you be
Yeah,
can you be more professional with this?
We like 2 chimpanzees here.
Chimpanzees.
Chimpanzees?
Well, I'm surrounded by foreigners. Help me. Trump, build a wall.
You need to cut that part out now.
No, I don't.
You're gonna lose listeners now.
If they listen this far and we lose them, that's all right with me.
AJ Mo and Amelia all gonna like not listen to you anymore.
Yeah, I can't wait to tag all them in this.
And all 3 of them, I'm gonna give you a lecture at the gym now.
Probably. I'll tag Women's Lib in a hashtag, so.
You're gonna be in so much trouble and not even with your wife.
All right, let's.
Oh, damn.
You had enough to drink. We need to end the show now. Here we go.
That's really a joke, also.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Get it right this time, Ray.
All right, fight fans. Coming from the Fan Duty Studios, we are out of here.
In Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York, baby.
Ray still didn't get it right.
What time is it? 9:20.
Trouble time?
No, I'll go to the strip club after.
There's a strip club right on the corner of my street, Ray. You should come.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you advertise
You
that
know
all the
what?
time?
Do they got the 99-cent buffet?
I don't,
What? 99-cent buffet? What do they feed you? Rats?
Tater tots and titties. Oh,
This is a family show, Ray.
oops. Hey,
At least while I'm here, it's a family show.
Hey, Jeff, you gotta cut that off, right?
Yeah.